Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. There are a few DC updates for us today, including what Ben Affleck thinks about streaming services compared to theatrical. Something from Wonder Woman 1984. Is it coming out to streaming early? I wonder. Also, news about Birds of Prey and Joker possibly being the most streamed comic book movies this week. And bad news for Supergirl fans. Looks like it's ending really soon, but it could mean things for possibly the theatrical version of Supergirl, and also a random photo of Wonder Woman Zack Snyder posted today on Vero. What does it mean? Of course, all that. Before we get to all that, actually, let's get into thanking my members of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to all the members here of the Ping Pong Flix Show. You are pretty much the lifeline of this show, including all the subscribers that are on here today. Thank you so much for clicking that subscribe button. All right, on with the show. The first topic we have today is Ben Affleck on the post-pandemic future of the mid-budget movies, right? So this is actually coming from EW Entertainment Weekly. They put this article out, and this is in regards to pretty much the conversation going on now with the difficulties of the post-pandemic COVID situations. Like for Jurassic World, the new one that's coming out, it's going to cost $3 million extra for those COVID tests. And so, well, what's going to come of that? Do they have enough buffer? Are they invested enough to that they're going to invest in a theatrical run? Is there enough money to be had there? What types of movies go theatrically as opposed to what types of movies go to streaming? This is what Ben Affleck had to say. I don't know what will be the reality post-COVID, he admits. Who knows what the theatrical business will be like? What I think has happened is that people have grown accustomed during this time to watching from home. It benefited the way back for sure. Affleck's recent drama made only $14 million in its 2 weeks in theaters before the pandemic pushed it on VOD. It had just come out, so I think the ability to see a new movie at home enabled us to get many more viewers than would have come out to a theater to pay money to see a sad movie about an alcoholic dealing with the death of his child. People have now been acculturated to streaming and watching movies at home in ways they weren't before, which probably accelerated a trend that was already taking place, right? And so he even elaborated a little bit more. I think after COVID, movies like The Town, movies like Argo, all the movies I've made would effectively end up on streamers, he speculates. There will probably be like 20 and 25 movies a year that are distributed, and they'll all be big IP movies. Whether it's the type of movies that Disney makes, like Aladdin or Star Wars or Avengers, something where you can count on the low end being $500 million worth of business. And I think it's going to be very, very difficult for dramas and sort of mid-budget movies like The Town to get theatrical distribution. You'll either see massive movies getting huge wide-scale distribution, or small movies doing little prestige releases in a few theaters, but mostly being shown on streamers. I think that's for better or worse, and you can draw your own conclusions, but that would be my best guess about the direction of the movie business, just based on what I'm seeing now and experiences I'm having trying to get stuff made. As I said before, it is getting extra harder to make these movies, especially during all these COVID restrictions. But he does elaborate a little bit more about Triple Frontier. Apparently, it did really well for them. Would it have been as successful and profitable theatrically? I don't know, but I know it was super successful for them. So the economics may be really shifting so that if you can generate a certain amount of viewership, and if they can somehow demonstrate that they get a certain number of subscribers based on that material, then what that means value. I think that's the future, and it's just sort of is what it is. I comfort myself with the idea they can get a 60-inch TV now for $250, so people are definitely at least seeing it in greater detail. And even a little surround sound isn't that expensive. Now, I don't particularly love the idea of putting all the work that you put into a movie and then having somebody watch it on their iPhone. I feel like they're just going to miss out on a lot. But sometimes the future makes up its own mind, and you just have to go along with it. So, in a sense, he's just explaining that this is the time we are living in now, especially during the COVID. It really accelerated this thought that maybe we don't need the theaters to put out a lot of the movies. Sure, he understands that probably the bigger IP movies definitely could be worthwhile to go to the movie theaters, just like, I don't know, another Superman movie or another Batman movie, big IPs, including the Jurassic World, and he said Avengers, so on and so forth. But for these mid-budget movies, they could literally land on not theatrically, but land on streaming services, and I think that would work out a lot better, and they don't have to concentrate too much on selling into the theaters and so on and so forth. So he's definitely on that side. He's definitely seeing the future. He's definitely seeing that this is the way it should be from here on forth. At least he speculates so in any case. So I guess that would mean, hey Ben, I guess you don't mind HBO Max so much, right? I mean, you could probably do a little mid-budget, I don't know, a Batflick movie or a Batflick series. If you want to, or continue Zack Snyder's Justice League, however you want to see it, or do your own thing. I think you have a lot of talent. You're an incredible director. You're an incredible actor. You probably have a lot of projects lined up, and I'm thinking you're seeing a lot of that effort and the fact that a lot of these streaming services are letting you do your own thing. You don't have to get so many studio notes that tell you to change here and there. So I think post-pandemic, I think Ben Affleck will probably be working a lot of these mid-budgets. You're going to see him a lot of stuff like on streaming services from here on forward. So good luck to all the directors out there, and I think Ben Affleck's going to create some incredible stuff for our future. Now we're talking about streaming services, and there's this questionable thing that came out today, and it's still not clarified. No one has ever came out and said that's totally fake or totally correct, but this is that was breaking today. Wonder Woman 1984 announced for streaming. This is on the Wonder Boy LB. Breaking news, nothing announced for HBO Max or anywhere in the United States yet. But Australian streaming service Binge claims, and I'm going to play this video, claims to have Wonder Woman filming streaming in November. Wonder Woman 1984. I wonder if this is true. Of course, this tweet has been deleted, and unsure if that means that it was supposed to have come out today or it was supposed to come out later, but it does say that Binge unturnoffable this November, and the account there is Binge. Of course, like I said, this could be fake as well, but no one has confirmed that is fake yet, and that is interesting. Because we know Wonder Woman 1984 is supposed to come out in theaters on Christmas, December 25th. And whether or not at one point in time they were thinking about just throwing it on streaming, we'll have to wait and see. And I think at this point, I want to say no. I think they're putting a lot of money into it, and this is one of those big, IP movies that definitely should be in the theater, I think. But with that being said, if it does go to streaming, like it's planning to go on the Australian streaming service, which is pretty much like, I guess, our, their own HBO Max, if that's what they're trying to say, then I don't mind. I don't mind watching it streaming at this point. But theaters are opening, businesses are going back to normal. We're starting to get that now. Let's wait out and see if Wonder Woman 1984 could steady its pace and get to that December 25th release date. All right. Now we're talking about streaming some more, and there's some interesting news coming out about Joker and Birds of Prey. And what is this all about, actually? Well, it says here, Joker and Birds of Prey apparently were the most streamed comic book movies this past week. And I'm going to show this link to you right here at comicbook.com. Down here, it shows that the top 10 comic book movies to stream this past week was Joker and Birds of Prey. And it's amazingly how it beat all these other properties. But you know what? Not many people went to watch Birds of Prey in theaters, and so I understand that maybe they were waiting. This is one of those movies, those properties that there's like, we're going to wait until it comes out on streaming. But Joker, that's amazing to see it's still number one, still being, people are still wanting to watch that during this time. And I think that's an incredible thing. This is incredible. 2 R-rated movies, comic book movies are doing well on streaming services, and that's amazing. All from HBO Max. I think HBO Max should be pretty happy about this, seeing that their DCEU, their IP, is doing very well on their streaming platform right now, compared to Netflix, Disney Plus on here, Stars, Netflix, so on and so forth. So that is really good news for DC fans right now. So that is that. Now the next topic is a series that is beloved and not so beloved, but at the same time, it is still sad. Supergirl was going to start its season 6, but now it's been confirmed that Supergirl will end after season 6, to the dismay to a lot of fans, but I'm also getting fans that are happy as this as well. But apparently it's it. That is it. That's all that's going to happen. The creative team has started developing the storylines for the final 20 episodes. The order is expected to be longer than most broadcast series this coming season, including the CW scripted shows, which will be launching in January and beyond. Now, why? Why did this happen? Well, between the delays and Supergirl's downward ratings trajectory, the deadline is saying that they hear producers, the studio, the network, and Benoist came to a decision that it was better to end the show with a longer final season. I'm sure she's also pregnant as well, so maybe she wants to concentrate on being, a mama bear, right? And so, as it keeps adding new series every season, the CW has also been retiring veterans. It ended 3 established series in each of the last 2 seasons, including Arrow, Supernatural, and the 100 this past season. I mean, at this rate, I think even The Flash may also end as well. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But sadly enough, it is, finally ending after 6 seasons. Supergirl is finally ending. Now, she also had something to say about this. Melissa Benoist had posted this picture on Instagram, and she had some words here as well. To say it has been an honor portraying this iconic character would be a massive understatement. Seeing the incredible impact the show has had on young girls around the world has always left me humbled and speechless. She's had that impact on me too. She's taught me strength I didn't know I had, to find hope in the darkest of places, and that we are stronger than we're united. What she stands for pushes all of us to be better. She has changed my life for the better, and I'm forever grateful. I'm so excited that we get to plan our conclusion to this amazing journey, and I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store. I promise we're going to make it one hell of a final season. Okay, so yes, it's ending. It's ending. Unfortunately for fans, Supergirl, this series is finally ending. I'd say that's a pretty good run. 6 seasons. It's not as long as Smallville, which lasted 10 seasons, with a rumored season 11. Yeah, right. But Supergirl ending. I've only watched really 1 season, the first season, and it was good. But I heard that it went downhill. I even enjoyed some of the Crisis on Infinite Earths on Is it on Crisis on Infinite Earths? But there was one where she called out her own evil self, and it was nostalgic, where she calls her out, will you step outside? And I thought that was a really cool nostalgic thing to the Christopher Reeve ones. But Again, not many people liked it, but a lot of people liked it as well. But I think Supergirl is a great property, and I think she's fantastic as Supergirl as the character. And I would love to see her continue. And in May, Supergirl series is ending. But could this lead to Supergirl in the DCEU? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, the first thing you probably would say that she may end up on Superman and Lois, right? I think this is probably the most logical area she could be in. Her cousin was a jobber on her show. Maybe this time she'll be a jobber on his show, right? They're cousins after all. She'll probably end up on here. You'll probably see her helping him out here and there. So this is probably the logical place to do it, right? But there's this thing, this idea that, and this is prior to the multiverse idea, right? We don't really know how the studio will fare after this whole multiverse thing. Are their original thought process on where they cannot have another hero with that while occupying in another world, right? So like CW usually, if there's Batman in the movieverse, they can't have Batman in the CW or Gotham. They can't call him Batman or something. That's what happened to Smallville. They had to end Smallville, and then we had that Superman Returns or something, right? Or vice versa. And I was like, it's weird and dumb, right? I think it doesn't make sense for them to do that. And I think with the multiverse idea, especially as of late, they've been doing things where you can't have a Flash. They're showing that Grant Gustin could be Flash, Ezra Miller could be Flash. It's okay to have multiple versions. Superman and Lois, Henry Cavill, Superman. So it does, when the Supergirl show's ending, I don't think it really pushes the idea that there's going to be an immediate Supergirl movie in the future, or they're planning to. I mean, they still got 1 year to go with this whole season 6, but it does bring to mind all those articles from before, especially from Mark Hughes over at Forbes, that they were developing a Supergirl movie at one point, even a Batgirl movie, and there were going to be a Supergirl and Batgirl have their own type of entering the cinematic universe in that respect, and so I like that idea. I think that it frees up. It doesn't necessarily mean it had to, but it frees up the idea of, okay, well, we need Supergirl. We love Supergirl. We need to have Supergirl somewhere. If it's not going to be in this, it's not going to be on the CW. They're going to have to show up somewhere. And maybe the easiest way to actually see Supergirl would be in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, we do see her, or at least hinted at her during this scene in Man of Steel. She was in the empty pod. As we see in the prequel comics, they kind of just alluded to that fact that Kara was there thousands and thousands of years ago. She landed on Earth. That's Kara. And she came out of that pod and she walked out into the snow and disappeared. So, there's that theory where she could be one of the Themyscirans, and, trained with trained with the Themyscirans, trained with the Amazons, and maybe even fought in the history lesson, and maybe taken. Maybe Darkseid took her, turned her into a Fury. This is all speculation, by the way, but I'm thinking that we're still staying tuned for Supergirl to show up in Zack Snyder's Justice League. At least that's my hope. At least that's my biggest guess, the biggest mystery from that pod there that Zach really truly alluded to. Or there could be other ways. We could have a new Superman movie, right? A new Man of Steel 2, essentially a Superman sequel, and introduce Kara Zor-El into it. And yes, this is a fantastic art showing Natalie Dormer as a Supergirl, but we don't know at this point. They could be literally anybody at this point, and if they're planning at all. Would it connect to even Henry Cavill's Superman universe? Are they doing their own thing? Is the Flashpoint movie, Ezra Miller's Flash movie, going to actually pivot in a way that they'll introduce Supergirl into the DC cinematic universe as well? That could also be something to consider. But in any case, Supergirl series ending, this to me just means that there are they can't just leave it at that. They have to be planning on either having Supergirl end up as a cameo in a Superman and Lois series, or if, like some scoopers are saying, this kind of hints that they're really going to concentrate on Supergirl being in the cinematic universe in the theaters, then there are multiple possibilities for that. But I'm also waiting to see what Zack Snyder's Supergirl is going to look like. Don't you? I mean, I do. But speaking of Zack Snyder posted on Vero a random screenshot of Wonder Woman from Batman v Superman. And I'm going to show it to you here. What is going on? This is the picture here, from Zack Snyder. And the post on the bottom says, "I've killed things from other worlds before." As that's her quote from Batman v Superman when she was amongst the other guys, Batman and Superman. And she stated that, right? And so we figured, well, that could mean Ares. Right, she's killed things from other worlds before. What is he talking about here? What is he alluding to? And we can go really much into what that actually means. I've killed things from other worlds before. I'm thinking, since it's a shot from BVS, from Batman v Superman, that this could possibly be where he's actually working on shooting that intro scene. Remember that intro scene where we have different perspectives that he's going to reveal of Superman's death? We are going to see Batman's reaction, Lois Lane, and possibly even Wonder Woman as well. So maybe he's working on that opening scene. Then we can go into the controversy. Maybe this is a way of Zack saying that Gal Gadot may be the next person, along with Ray Fisher and Jason Momoa, to talk about Warner Brothers and the execs over there, especially Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, and John Berg, on how she was also mistreated on the set of the Justice League reshoots. Like, what other heads will roll other than maybe the execs? Heads will roll. Okay, so that's maybe out of left field, sure. and so that may not be it. He could also be talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Maybe there is a god over there in that movie that she also killed. Other things, other worlds. Something from another world in that movie, in Wonder Woman 1984. Zack Snyder is producing that. He is still, Stone Quarry is producing that, so that could be a hint of that as well. But it's still BVS shot. It's not a shot from Wonder Woman. It's not a shot from anything else. I still think this could possibly be Justice League. So the last theory, what he could be working on, is possibly, well, simply the part where she actually kills something from another world. The part she kills Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's Justice League. As you've seen here, he sent us photos on Vero before showing a unfinished product of actually Wonder Woman chopping off the head of Steppenwolf. Now, Steppenwolf does need to get reworked into the original design, so there's probably a lot to be worked here, as this was unfinished back in the day. So he could be hinting that he's actually working on this part. He's working on the ending. He's working on the part where you need a god to kill a god, right? This is where the part where she goes and slices off Steppenwolf's head. Steppenwolf's head rolls into the boom tube, and you see the dark side and his army, aka also known as his family. And maybe even a Fury, maybe Supergirl. That's just my theory in any case. But it's exciting to see a little update, at least, from Zack Snyder in regards to possibly his Justice League movie. That now that Army of the Dead is done, the reshoots are done, what is the next project that Zack Snyder has to work on? Well, it is Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm really excited to see more updates on that, and maybe even a possible, I don't know, Zack, can we get like one more trailer before this year ends, just to lift us up as we end the year 2020 and into 2021, where we'll expect the HBO Max's Zack Snyder's Justice League. All right, guys. Well, that is it for the news and updates for today. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily DC content of DC movies, shows, and video games, please click the like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.